Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, I've got an exciting new preview kit for you guys today, and very long title too. The company is called Suyata. This is the 40A scale Panther with zimmerite, with a full interior, includes the Strabo crane, as well as the diorama base and all of the accessories that you see on the box out here. So a lot of stuff. You guys know how big 48 scale kits are. Look at the size of this box. There is a lot of stuff in here. A great value. And I've looked inside. It's a beautiful kit inside as well. And of course, we're going to tear it all apart and show you all the different parts inside there. These are just arriving in the United States right now. We have them on our website at andyshhq.com. You can go and check them out on there. Great price on them as well. And also, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. That way you'll be notified every time a new video comes out on the channel. And if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button down below there. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out quite a bit. So, let's get started. I'm very excited to share this new kit with you. This is from a company called Suyata, which I have to admit, up until a couple of months ago, I had never heard of this company before, so I'm assuming they're fairly new. And I actually got wind of this kit probably about 4 or 5 months ago that they were coming out with this, and very excited to see how the quality was going to be on it. So, as you can see just by the box here, this is a huge amount of product for especially for the price in 48 scale. So to start off with, you're going to get the Panther A, which you can see in here. The Panther A has a full interior inside of it. The engine, fighting compartment, all of that stuff inside. Plus it comes with applique zimmerite and the 16-ton Strabo crane. And then there's still more. There's still more stuff coming in there. It has a diorama base inside, and then all of these diorama accessories like the 50-gallon drums, the logs, all that other kind of stuff in there to really create, you know, the basics, or actually quite a bit of a diorama for this vehicle. And it is really cool that they do give you the interior on this, because obviously if you're going to use the crane, you're going to be removing the turret or removing the engine or something inside. So you want to be able to look inside. If this turret is off the main part of the hull, you're going to be able to look inside and see all of the detail in there. And I'll kind of flip to the side of the box to let you see. This is kind of all of the parts inside here. Unpainted, of course, just the way they show it in there. So you can see you've got the ladder, the crane itself. Looks like there's a figure inside there too. I wasn't sure if there was a figure in there. Then over here we have the internal parts of the vehicle. And lastly, we have the zimmerite decals. And those are the 3D decals that we've seen from like companies like Ming. And Tamiya had some of those type of things too. So theirs were actually stickers, I should say. These are actually a decal. So you get all of that. You get the tank, the interior, the crane, the base, the accessories, the zimmerite, all of that, and they are $49.99 for all of those pieces inside there. That we have them on our website at andyshhq.com. I think these are going to sell extremely well. Now, I did peek inside a little bit just to give an idea to myself of what the quality was going to be like. Now, I'm not 100% positive, and I'm trying to find this out, but I believe Suyata is actually molded by Takom. And in fact, if you notice right here, it says the display base and the figure were sculpted by Jason. And Jason is a name you'll see a lot of times on a lot of the Takom boxes. Not 100% sure about that, but I believe it is. I'm trying to find out where it actually came from, which is a very common thing for these companies to have. Some of the smaller companies have some of the larger companies do their moldings for them. But yeah, if it is Takom, you guys all know the quality of Takom. They're absolute gorgeous product. So let's take a look inside this big, beautiful kit. Okay, first up, we have our bathtub style hull. And you can see how a lot of the internal parts are already molded inside the hull, as well as the exterior parts here. So you've got some of the, the stops and some of the fittings on the outside here. So I would have to believe, based on the way this is going together, that this is slide molded here. Just because of the detail in so many different directions. So we've got our beautiful hull here. And then now we will look at the upper hull. Nice weld seams. Remember, 40A scale too, so it is a very, very tiny little vehicle. Give you a close-up. And then when it actually comes in the box, it is actually in the pack, and you can see how it actually kind of clicks together pretty nicely too. Now we can take a look at the internal parts of the Panther A. And the first thing you're going to notice on this is that they have molded some of the parts together already for you. So you don't have some 1,000 to 1,500 part internal kit that would just drive you crazy, especially in 40A scale, because it's not very, very large inside. And this is what I'm talking about right here. You can see on the bottom down here, all of the torsion bars as well as the guides inside are all molded together as one piece. Beautifully molded, just like that. And if you remember a few years back, I built the Panther with the interior inside, and all of this was individual separate parts. So this was all photo etched, these rails down the middle. Really tough to get in there straight. So this is just going to be so much easier just to snap that in there. In through here, we have the bottom of where the turret basket would go. And all of the ammunition racks are already molded into place for you. We also have our 2 batteries right here, also molded in, because most of that stuff is going to be stacked like that. You're going to see very, very little of it, so this makes perfect sense to go ahead and do it like that. Also here we have our firewall, and this right here is part of the engine. This is the piping that you normally see when you open up the top of the engine deck inside the Panther. Next up, this is the reason I'm showing you this. This is obviously some of the accessories with the 50-gallon drums, but these are what I wanted to show you right here. These are the tips of the 75mm Panther shells, and they will get glued into these. So you'll be able to go ahead and paint these separately. They have some individual shells here too that'll be for the racks inside the turret. And then of course you have the ladder, which you saw that. So you actually get 2 sprues of this particular one right here. So you can build the other side of the ladder and you get all those shells and then the full ammunition. So very, very cool like that. Now we're going to take a look at the turret here, or part of the turret. So you see we've got the lower part of the turret here. It's got some of the accessories already molded into it. The turret itself. The gun is here. It is all molded as one piece. And then we have a 2-part muzzle brake. That may have been kind of tough to mold that in slide molding because it is so tiny. We've got our mantlet machine gun. And you notice too, part of these are usually all molded as separate pieces. You've got the sight on here for the gun, and then of course the machine gun already molded on there as well. And then of course part of the cupola, all the different pieces on that. Now we're going to take a look at the wheels, tracks, and then the arms that hold the wheels on and attached to the torsion bars. As you can see here, we have individual link track all through in here, and then these are all the long length of tracks. So we have one that for like the bottom, the top, and then this natural curve piece which will drop down from the drive sprocket onto the main run of wheels. And what I'll do real fast here too is we'll zoom in here a little bit so you can see the detail on each one of these tracks. You can see these are the later type tracks. They have the little ice cleats on them. Same thing on there. Drive sprocket. And then the actual road wheels there too. Really nice. For 40A scale, these are very, very nice. And then of course the arms that we talked about. And then let's flip these over. And you can see that the guide teeth are already molded into place there. So no having to put those individual ones on. And even this is your spare track section here. When you flip it over, they even did put the ice cleats on the other side of this. It's kind of interesting. You're not going to see it because it's going to get molded or glued, excuse me, to the side of the hull. Next up, we have our engine sprue. and lots of really detailed looking pieces on here. So we've got extra ammunition in here, engine parts all in through here. Here's the top. This is the main piece you're going to see when you look inside the engine itself, the engine compartment, I should say. And then, of course, there is some slide molding. So we've got our transmission right here. It is slide molded as well as, I should say. These look like ammo boxes here for the side. And then I'll just kind of zoom in and let you look at some of the detailing on the engine components. More slide molding. And then there's the front and back of the engine, as well as some of the transmission parts. Very, very nicely done on that one. And our final Panther sprue is this one right here. And all of the Panther sprues, the one that actually make up the tank, are done in this dark yellow. So right here we have our side fenders, front fenders, our stowage bins for the rear. These are 3 logs for the diorama base. We've got our final drives right here, the engine cover, exhaust through here, another piece of ladder, and then our little dude right here, which I'll zoom in on, give you an idea of what he looks like. There's his face right there, and then a hat and arms. And as you can see, he's in cold weather uniform. And those are all of the parts that make up the final piece of the Panther. Now we'll take a look at the crane that comes in here. As you can see, this is the top support for the crane. The box type with the girders all over it there. Then we have our wheel sprue, which has the wheels. There is some slide molding done right here on the side for some of the axles, it appears. Bunch of little tiny accessory pieces. You do get 2 of these sprues right here, just like that. Next up we have some more of the supports. Flip this around to make it easier to see for you guys. You get 2 of this particular sprue. And the final sprue inside here is this one right here, which has like the tow bar here for it, as well as some of the other little accessories there. So as you can see, the crane itself has a decent number of parts too, and it looks to be very, very detailed. And as for plastic, the final piece we have in here is our display base. It has some Panther tracks already put into place here, and then it's got some cross tracks from the crane going back and forth. Basic little display base, but with a little work and some some aftermarket stuff, you could really make this thing come alive. Now we'll take a look at the instruction as well as all of the accessories that come with it. So let's take a look at those accessories. So we have our copper tow cable, as you would normally expect in even 35th scale, lots of nylon thread to be used in the crane itself. And then we have our photo etch. I'll try not to blind you guys with it here. So we have all of, whoops, sorry about that. There is all of our grills, but you'll also notice too, all of this chain work in here. So all of the winches and things like that all have this photo etch chain that you can put on there. And next up we have our zimmerite decals. And it is raised. There is a little bit of a texture to it there, and as you can see, you get all of the pieces to put on the zimmerite on this, just like the Ming kit did a while back. And also show you the decals that come inside of it as well. So you get a variety of different markings for both the crane and the Panther itself. And the final thing I'm going to show you now are the instructions. And I have to say the instructions are very, very, very nice. And let me show you why. They are full color instructions. So as you open up the parts here, you can see how each one of the sprues we showed you earlier, and then all of the color inside. So we've got detailed color charts, or color diagrams I should say, not charts, color diagrams for painting all of the internal parts from the engine, the turret, and then attaching all the gearboxes. And you can just see they're very nicely well thought out instructions to explain how everything goes together. They are quite a few steps, as you can imagine, because there's a lot of pieces inside here. But this will just give you a little basic idea of how this thing will look and go together. Let's see if they have any... yeah, here's the breakdown of the different camouflage markings you can do inside there as well. And finally for the crane itself. And there is a look inside this big box of 40A scale fun. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that like button down below. Helps the channel out. Also, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you ring the bell, you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you as always for watching. And please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.